Welcome back, Last Man In Podcast, episode number 20. We've done 20 of these, Cameron.
We did.
20.
All by ourselves, without Dan.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Dan's out here again. Not by choice. We tossed Dan for this episode. For
No.
No, we didn't kick him off.
We kick him off. It was more of a, Dan, we're doing the podcast today, and we told him 2 hours before filming.
Yeah, and we have a special guest here.
He's actually paid to talk about things on the TV.
So he might have an educated opinion, which is BS. He's an Oilers fan. They're all stupid.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Oilers fans, first off.
Yeah, he's an Oilers fan.
He's wearing a bomber toque, so he's just... his life. That's how he falls asleep. He falls asleep best when he cries himself to sleep. That's every night. So he's
former True North volunteer.
That's true. So anything he says, you directly email True North and say, hey, a former intern over there darn hurt my feels.
Yeah.
And that
hit me all up in the feels. So, former volunteer for True North.
Yeah, let's pump this tire.
And
where is he now,
current
though?
York Tonight.
York Tonight, is that what they go by?
I got it right.
Current York Tonight, okay. He's
working at, do you want to know? He's working at a TV station there called CTV Yorkton.
And by a TV station, the only TV station. There are two. Who's the competitor?
The other one's Access.
Do we say you could talk, sir? This is our podcast here. His name is Tyler Esquivel, ladies and gentlemen.
Round of applause.
20 episodes, we got a first guest here, and it is our esteemed honor to bring him on this podcast. He's got a laptop, so he's already changing the darn game now. He didn't have books that we liked. I usually like using books or Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. We got Bambi and Snow White, so if you feel that extra strong support on you this week, it's Bambi and Snow White right up, holding up you under your wings there. Under your wings.
Yes. Walt Disney supported me through my childhood. It's come full circle, I guess.
Yep.
We have a minority on the podcast now, too.
Oh, wow. Sir, that is unacceptable.
I cannot align myself with racism.
Yeah, at all. Sir, that'd be almost as bad as saying, like, that, who's that gentleman, Gordie Howe? That's like saying he's on his last wings. Oh, my God, Greg, why would you say that?
That was so mean.
I didn't mean that. Passing away this week, let's start
No, I have to say, I have to speak for the podcast, and that is a joke. You can't say that.
Tyler told me he wrote it down on a piece of paper. I will tweet the picture.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Gordy. Keep her going. Man.
Okay, sorry. What are we going to talk about? Line us up, Greg.
Okay, so I did want to start with World Juniors, but we'll start with the change to the hockey world, the couple passings and things that happened. I want to start with the World Junior final camp roster. We'll talk about the Jet stuff. We'll get some opinions on some things that one of the guys on our team did. New injuries to guys on our team, as well as how we did over the last week since we recorded, and maybe a interesting perspective as Tyler used to work for the Jets, so he knows.
He's an Oilers fan, so we're definitely going to talk about the Oilers.
We have to. Talk about Alfie Broder. Obviously, have to talk about the new PTO goaltender for the Anaheim Ducks. Buffalo, their streak lately. Who's leading the All-Star votes for the NHL? And that's just to name some stuff.
All right,
going on.
let's start her off.
Yeah, let's go. Let's first of all say our deepest condolences go to the Jean Beliveau family. Obviously, all of us here at this podcast were too young to ever experience him play.
Yeah, but the stats that they were naming, I didn't know he won 10 times. And I didn't know his name was on the cup 17 times.
Dude, he has enough rings for Stanley Cups that he's won to fit both hands.
And then
plus some toes.
Plus almost all
toes. He won as a player, though. Like,
yeah. Do you think he did that? Do you think obviously you don't think you're going to win, but maybe. Just maybe.
Like, if you're relative...
Like, you win so many times, you're like, I'm going to get my pinky. Why? I just have a good feeling about this team. I think they're pretty good.
I think you order the ring, though, after you win. Do you not?
Oh, of course. But, like, once you get the ring... Do you think, like, because say if you already have 3, your first one's ring finger, and then your next one, you might get ring finger again.
No, you're saying as a sense that the first 3 that he got was ring finger, middle finger, index, and then he went pinky, thinking the next one would be thumb?
Well, I'm not talking hypothetically on a guy who's any team.
You would
do thumb?
Oh, my God.
See, Tyler's, let's paint this picture. Tyler's a guy who would wear a thumb ring, so let's just point that out.
You would totally have earrings, too.
Do you have a toe ring? Take your socks off. What is
no toe rings.
Dude, you want to know something I found out about Tyler?
What's that?
He wears makeup.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah.
How are you shocked by this? It's on TV. What do you think? Everyone has perfect complexion? Get out of town. Kate Burness.
He brought it with him here.
I was just working before coming here.
Yeah,
so.
I picked him up from the airport. Very inconsiderate. Greg.
Wow,
You've lost it. What's next?
Yeah. No, I was just saying John Beliveau passing.
Oh, yeah.
Age 83. Changed the game both on and off the ice with the things he did. And then obviously Gordie Howe having his second stroke.
What did he change in the game, Greg? Because you were talking about this earlier.
I don't want to steal stats from people. But
stats are stats, Greg. I don't think you can have a claim on stats. Just go for it. You hammer away.
In the age that Jean Beliveau played, the power play as we knew it was, as they knew it, was just 2 minutes, flat out. You could score as much as you wanted. So teams would score often once or twice as a team. However, Jean Beliveau scored 3 times on the same power play in about 44 seconds. So they decided to literally change that rule. And that's how he literally changed the game. In obviously other ways as well, in the fact that Montreal bought a team for him.
Yeah, they bought the... I heard this his third year or second year in junior or something like that. They offered him a contract and he said no. And then he kept playing in junior. That year, the Montreal Canadiens, back when you could, Montreal had rights to all French guys, they bought the Quebec League just to get Jean Beliveau on the team.
That's insane.
They bought a league.
I will say this. Obviously, he did some great things in the NHL, but when he played in the QPJHL, and if you're wondering what that noise is, it's the really annoying clock.
Oh, yeah, we're in our 4th location for filming.
We are recording, but...
Yeah, same thing.
The clock has struck 9 o'clock, folks. Okay. So, when he played in the QPJHL, 46 games played, 61 goals, 63 assists for 124 points, and 120 penalty minutes. Now, I'm impressed by his NHL stats, don't get me wrong, but, that's a lot.
That's a lot of points and a lot of
holy cow.
That's scoring 2 points
remember,
a game.
guys, I said it earlier, Tyler might come off a little smarter. He's cheating. He has a laptop. We don't have laptops here.
Yeah,
I don't have access to my phone.
Yeah,
so
I have notes. I have notes in front of me.
Best season in the NHL came in.
Let's go, stats guy. Come on.
91 points, I believe, in 58, 59, 64 games.
It's still pretty
45 Genos, 46 Apples. Very well balanced when you look at his stats. He wasn't heavy on one side. He was, good. Obviously, a good distributor of the puck, but obviously a guy could put the puck in the back of the net.
The number one thing that people say about Jean Beliveau is that he never talked about his personal achievements. It was always about the team. And he always put himself first. And that's
everything you hear about guys just meeting him, they're like, oh, stand up, great person, very humble, this totally normal guy. That's awesome. That's what you want to hear.
When you say the word Montreal Canadiens, you probably think Jean Beliveau, Maurice Richard, Jacques Plante, and it sucks. It's awesome that he lived as long as he did, but it sucks losing a great to hockey. And as Pat Quinn passed, as we talked about it last week, Hockey World lost another great role model, great person, and just another great guy for the history books. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to lose Gordie Howe here eventually soon, which sucks as well because he was another great thing for hockey.
Yeah, because all the mainstay great guys growing up are now passing, which sucks.
Which it just makes you.
We never really saw any of these guys.
No, but the guys when you think of hockey, back in the day, you just remember oh yeah, Gordie Howe, Bobby Hull, maybe not Bobby Hull in there, but Gordie Howe, Jean Beliveau, and all those crazy guys
and even Pat Quinn coaching and that stuff, and Don Cherry's really old, and everyone knows Don Cherry. He'll pass eventually one day. Probably yelling about some Russian, but
yeah.
As much as people like to, rain on Don Cherry's parade, I think the day he passes will be a sad day.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
people will maybe start to realize that maybe we were a little hard on a guy who tends to be right about 95% of the time. And is it
he's the guy who he's the Facebook. He would be the equivalent to the Facebook friend we all have. It was you're a girl's just oh, I had such a bad day today, feeling ugly, and then the guy would be yep. And in your mind, you're whoa, I can't believe I said that. But then you're yeah, you know what? I kind of was thinking that. But everyone gets mad at him. He's the guy, he just says it. He says it. Yeah.
He says what a lot of people are thinking. And I've never disliked Don Cherry. I've always respected him. And sure, some things he says I don't agree with.
We've gone off on him for Euros on this very podcast.
Yeah, but you know what? I like him. Can't hate him at all.
I know I'm not the mediator of this topic, or this podcast, rather, but
yeah, well, hey,
we should
fine.
move on.
We will.
Okay, I see
Yeah,
what
don't
this
worry. We'll talk about the World Junior final roster.
Oh, we have a gentleman in this very room. This guy, Tyler Esquivel. He got to interview Morgan Klimchuk, who got invited to this darn canteen.
What was Morgan like?
I definitely did speak with Morgan Klimchuk. First of all, nice guy. I was having trouble getting into the building to interview him.
Was the door locked?
Yeah, the door was locked.
Okay, no, hey,
I tried about 3 different entrances. I couldn't get in, and then Morgan got out of his car, and I was like, "Oh, there's Morgan Klimchuk. Maybe he'll let me in."
Really?
And I said, "Hey, Morgan, good morning. Do you think you could let me in?" And
yeah.
he goes, "Yeah, sure." And then I told him, "Congrats on making the selection camp roster." And I would think the team only one of 2 right wingers to get invited to the camp. So
we'll make the team.
I would think so. And he played with Sam Reinhart and Connor McDavid at the under-18 hockey championships, where he was it the Helinka or is it the U18s?
Oh, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same tournament. No,
they aren't the same.
No, they are not.
Really?
What the noodle?
Since when?
Since I reported it the other day.
Well, interesting.
While Tyler reports on it, since I guess we're technically in our write-up a Jets podcast, although we're probably going to change that to just hockey podcast because we rarely cover the Jets, in depth at least.
Yeah.
But 3 Winnipeg Jets got invited and one's already on the team.
Yeah.
Eric Comrie, pending injuries, of course.
Very interesting that they went with only 2 goalies.
They're just going with the set in stone now because that pressure is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So now they know
for 3 spots.
Now they know it's Comrie and Fucale at goaltender.
I believe Fucale will get the nod.
Oh yeah, well he has the experience already. Yeah. But Comrie, and I think one of the biggest reasons why Comrie's here is the showcase that he showed during the Russian Super Series.
Yeah.
Even though the WHL lost that game, I really felt that Comrie played good.
Win or lose in that tournament, though, it's not about winning and losing. It's just about talent evaluation.
Yeah, and honestly, and he definitely showed up in, I can't remember who was in net for the Russians, but he also showed up very well. It was just a goaltending duel in that game, essentially. Yeah. And then Patana Morrissey returning is from last year, both captains on their team.
Pending injury, locks on the team.
Patana
will be second third line.
Second line, probably.
Pending have you seen the list of, we talked about this last week, but the list of NHL wants for players on that team, it's just ridiculous. They want Horvat, Duclair.
But I feel like I feel like a broken record every year saying, "Look at the guys we could have on this team."
Oh yeah.
No, we're just talking about the guys that they want. But realistically, back to Morgan Klimchuk, the only guy that would really bump Morgan Klimchuk down the roster spot would be Anthony Duclair because he's a winger. That's it. Yeah, that's the only reason I could see Morgan Klimchuk. I think I don't want to jump the gun, but he's a big, he's somewhat of a big guy. What's his size? Is he? You were standing beside
Morgan Klimchuk, 5'11". We're probably about the same height.
But he hits. I remember him being a hitter, right? He's not afraid to go into the corners.
Definitely not afraid to go into the corners.
No one in Canada is afraid to go into the corners.
Put it this way. John Paddock, who's the head coach of the Regina Pats, former Ottawa Senators head coach, and I believe Winnipeg Jets head coach.
Oh, mama.
When asked what he thought about Morgan's chances of making the team, he was very confident. He said, not a direct quote here, but he's the best winger in the league. And when you're for a 19-year-old, and when I'm saying
that's your tournament
exactly, you're one of the best. So why he said I have no doubts that he'll make the team. So
yeah,
that he won't.
I hope he does. I like him. Flames pick.
Sure, why not?
I've seen him play in a few games. Being the fact that I have to actually film the games, it's hard to actually kind of watch the way a player skates and stuff through a camera lens. But yeah, definitely a good hockey player.
Stands out obviously compared to others.
Yeah.
Well, is he a captain or assistant on that team?
I think he's an assist.
Irrelevant.
I don't know.
That team's loaded with leadership. I think, or it will be loaded with leadership. Always is. I think Morgan Klimchuk's got to be a lock on that team.
A couple Manitobans on the squad too.
Yeah.
Madison Bowie, I'm not quite sure how.
Yeah,
to say that.
Kelowna Rockets defense.
Travis Sandheim from Elkhorn, Manitoba.
Flyers traffic,
just close to the Saskatchewan border, and no Manitobans up front.
No, it's
that's okay. We seem to produce a lot of D-men lately on the back end.
You know what's crazy too, though, and kind of cool actually, is if you look at it, and I think even through the years, the production in Western Canada has gotten a lot better, it seems, to bringing these guys to that extra level.
Well, how many invites were based off WHL? So many. I think there's only 3 Q guys.
Only 3 Q.
So there's
Fucali.
Sam Morin. D.
Yeah.
From either way.
Right.
Sam Morin. Rimouski, right flyer.
I'm quizzing you on these guys.
And then the last guy is...
this one should be obvious.
Drosho?
No, he was on the team last year.
He was on the team last year.
Oh, Frederick Goche, dude. Leafs.
Correct.
Right.
Goche, yeah.
Nikolai Obkubel, no invite.
No, and same with Connor
He'll be there
Bleakley.
next year. Connor.
Did I call him Colin?
No, Connor Bleakley.
Yeah, Connor Bleakley, the Nines. Have you heard our 9 theory, Tyler?
No.
Don't ever
It's called It's called doing your friends a favor and listen to their podcast.
No, Tyler ain't got time for that. He's a big boy now.
Yeah,
look at him. Look at he doesn't even wear his too proper. That logo's
He's a busy human being.
He's trained not to wear logos or anything like that.
That's mean.
Oh, you know, Ty, I've been waiting to say this for weeks.
Tyler's father here. What's that?
Garbage night.
Garbage night.
Oh, it is garbage night.
I've been instructed to take out the trash.
Guess what? He that big of a superstar there.
I will not. Yeah, I'll take out the trash.
Even when he visits home, he still has to do the trash.
But fun fact: normally they at least bring like a couple NCAA players. Not one invited. Not one.
It's all CHL talent.
All CHL.
Good.
As it should be.
Anything else on World Juniors? Team Canada! It's this today. It's their 100th anniversary today.
Only 2 players invited to this camp who haven't been drafted yet. One obviously.
Let me guess.
Connor McDavid.
Wait. Let me guess.
And then the other person is defenseman.
No.
No. It's that kid. It's Detroit. He signed a contract with Detroit. He's a D.
No.
Yes.
No.
He's D.
No.
Come on.
No.
He wasn't drafted.
Are you talking
Wrong
about
fact.
Joe Hicketts?
Yeah.
Wrong.
He wasn't drafted. You said not drafted.
Who are draft eligible coming
up.
up.
Who's the other guy?
Lawson Krause. Plays for Kingston of the OHL. Anyway.
I don't know if he'll make the team, but we'll see. And then
Rourke Chartier from Saskatoon plays in Kelowna. Was like the fastest player to 50 points this year. It was like a Kelowna Rockets record. He's having a great season out in Kelowna. I think they've only lost 4 games.
Hey, he plays with Madison Bowie, so maybe
he does.
Hey, they're not afraid to snub people though for Team Canada because Ray Ferraro got snubbed, and when selection camp came, he had 50 goals that year, and he didn't get invited.
Well,
that's rough.
Yeah.
Well, we can. Any final words on what you guys think of what are our chances essentially?
Gold or bust every other year.
I feel like it is always gold or bust. I mean,
it's
hard
what?
to.
I'll settle on just make the gold medal game this year, please.
It's hard to really analyze this unless that's your central job is to like watch junior hockey and like and know and to be able to evaluate all the talent from across the world too. I think it's a little time consuming.
Yeah.
So I would just say it's gold or bust for sure.
It's got to be a gold or bust.
We set the standard in this junior hockey, and it's time to reclaim that.
Oh, for sure. And judging by what we saw by US's preliminary roster, actually their full roster, I believe they named, they've got some talent on that team, especially with
You're darn right, Chase DeLeo.
Another Jets pick, another Jet doing fantastic things. Nikolai Ehlers getting named the CHL Player of the Week.
He had 13 points in 12 points or 13 points in 3 games.
4 games.
Yeah, he's going to be a special player.
He's something else.
Yep.
And that's without having... That's him on the team. That's not having Drouin there anymore. It's just him.
Seems like a nice kid, too.
Oh, yeah. Probably is.
Real quiet.
Whatever.
So speaking of Jets, how'd they do this week?
Well, they played only twice since our last podcast.
What was the scores?
They played Boston, where Hutchinson played. And they lost 2-1 in overtime.
Okay.
And then they played the Lonely Oilers and almost lost to them. However, pulled out an OT win.
I heard Jacob Trouba
played
amazing in that game. Very good.
It was a bit of an odd call to not give Jacob Trouba the number 1 star. Being at the
the arena.
In the arena, apparently Troub's got the number 1 star.
On the worst broadcast ever.
Don't be saying that. Don't be saying that.
No, I'm sorry.
I like Dave Randorf. Who are you talking about?
No, I like Randorf. I like Randorf as a play-by-play guy. It was whoever was working with him was terrible.
Paul Romanek.
It was not Romanek.
It was Romanek.
If it was Romanek, he was doing a terrible job.
It was Paul Romanek because it wouldn't have been any other gentleman. I'm pretty sure it was Paul.
Okay, well, whoever was working with him, I didn't think was doing a good job.
What did he do that you did not enjoy?
I can't think of the top of my head because it was last night and I was
trying really hard, okay?
But they're not nearly as good as TSN.
It's not the proper musical environment to request this from me.
They're not doing as good as TSN. This is my only argument.
You got to be thankful.
As a person who's in the media, like, just cut him some.
What,
slack.
Sportsnet? No, I just meant like.
Just cut him some slack.
I just mean Sportsnet in general. I'm just not impressed with what they've done this year.
Anyway, I choose not to have an opinion on that.
Yes,
my job.
You work for
Once
the other.
again, we will tweet pictures
enemy.
of what Tyler's writing to us later.
Blackmail.
Oh, but something overshadowed
Everything.
everything this week, because our beloved star, Evander Kane, rose again from the ashes in the social media world. And what did he do this week?
The hashtag caning.
Hashtag caning with
Is that
an
what
E.
it was?
Yeah.
Hashtag caning.
And I thought
What's
it was
caning?
I thought it was just push-ups.
He was doing push-ups with like $10,000 worth of American
I'm
dollars
curious.
on his
We'll
back.
start around the room. I want Cam to go for what is your opinion on that?
On doing a push-up with $10,000?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
sir, you don't mediate this podcast.
No, he started. I
know.
understand. What's my opinion on the picture of it, or just of what
The
in
picture,
general?
what it stands for, what you think.
Really,
What do you think Kane
seriously,
is trying to
like
do with it?
actually, the first thing I thought of was, you got to be kidding me. Second, I thought genius, because the Jets, like, not that they're doing terrible, but they're not really doing anything or in the media. Third, every time I see him do something, I just think he wants out. I don't know. That's what I think. Every time I see him do something like this, I just don't think Winnipeg's a place for him. Like, I know you've heard this 1,000 times.
From us.
From different angles, especially. But
Yeah.
I think he does this stuff to grab attention, to create. There's got to be, like, the social media manager.
Somewhat market.
The social media manager for the Winnipeg Jets. I don't know if they hate each other or not, but they, or like the Jets person. I don't know what you would call that person. They must hate their job or hate Evander Kane or something, because I know they give lessons in classes to the players on, hey, don't start a media fire to make our jobs harder, because then you're making everyone's job harder, and that's all they're going to talk about. Kane, to answer your question, I feel every time he does something like that, I think he's just...
But are you offended by it?
No. I was offended by Money Phone only because of the timing of it, because it came during a lockout for players where they want more money.
Yeah.
But I understand that he was honoring Floyd Mayweather. I get it.
I like
This
how you're
one-
about to
Really,
call him
we-
Moneyweather.
No.
So okay. Sorry, I'm cutting into your argument here, but honoring Floyd Mayweather or whatever.
Because
his
he
name
does the Money Phone. Like,
is? Yeah,
hey, money,
but like,
I'm calling
let's
you.
just take a look at Floyd Mayweather's.
He makes $80 million. He makes $80 million dollars.
That is not a man worth defending.
I'm
No,
not defending. I'm
we're
just
not-
saying he was honoring him.
Oh no, sorry, I'm
it's-
not a man worth honoring.
Well,
Or am
whatever.
you-
To answer your question, I didn't mind the push-up thing. I just thought, wow, he really wants out of here, because that's more money than I think I make in a year. So,
Well, yeah.
close to it.
Okay, Greg, I want to hear your opinion of this because I'm curious.
Because you're curious, because normally I hate Kane. And normally I laughed really hard at this. I found it hilarious. And then I had a moment in my head that thought, what would I do if I was in Vegas and had $10,000?
Was that from Vegas?
That was from
Well, you
Vegas.
wouldn't do that because we all know you can't do a push-up. So
Do we have Monopoly money? Or
Sorry,
anything?
I'm sorry. I'm going to do one just for
We have
fun then.
push-up bets on this podcast.
I feel like this has happened before and it hasn't ended well.
Butt down, sir. He's doing girl push-ups, everyone. He's on
And
his
just
knees.
so you know, his face
hasn't
is
done-
really red.
Fuck you guys.
He's got a weird scar on the side of his... What is that?
That's my birthmark.
It's like beet red.
Yeah, that's my birthmark. I came out head
Is it-
first.
He hit the floor.
Is that where your eyes are brown too? Some poop come on there?
Okay.
No, honestly, I don't think it's that, like, I think people made a bigger deal than it was, but whatever. I don't think it matters what he posts. I would just like to see a product on the ice.
You know what?
That's where I am now. I just would like to see him. I think he sets a high standard for himself, and he should start hitting that standard. And you know, I'm done hating on him. Just done hating on him, period, because I can't control what he does, and my hate really doesn't garner any.
It doesn't do anything. It's
No.
wasted energy.
Exactly.
Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Unlike that push-up.
You know what? When I first saw it, I was just like, I just kind of did like an eye roll, like, okay, all right, Kane. Like, I feel like he's just trolling the masses, and all he wants is a reaction from people, and it's clearly working. But at the same time, it's just like, at what point? Like, I don't know if you've paid attention to many of like the Winnipeg Jets like in-house like videos that they've done with the players, and like Kane's a lot more involved now, and like he grabs the mic and he's getting in on some of the scrums. and asking questions, and I feel like he's just trying really hard to get people to like him or just to get people talking about him. And maybe that's just the way he is as a person, but I know like when you're gonna post something on social media, you gotta understand how the consequences. Even though you don't think it's bad, and many people who are our age don't think it's bad, because that's just kind of the culture that we live in. But at the same time, like the dad who's taking this, like I heard this on the radio. I'm stealing an opinion here, and sort of thing. But I heard this on the radio yesterday. It's like a dad who is taking his kid to his first Jets game, and maybe his only ever Jets game. And, that's more money on Kane's back than so-and-so is ever going to see in a year. And he's just, flaunting it like that. Like, to some people...
Disrespectful.
It's a little disrespectful.
No, I totally get that.
And to follow up on your point, start to score some goals, man. Congrats on assisting on the game winner in overtime last night, I guess. But, let's look at Evander Kane's stats here.
It's 2 goals.
It's near embarrassing.
It's not near. It is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for somebody who believes they could be a 50-goal scorer.
Start to put the puck in the net. Until it's 4 goals, 6 assists, plus 1.
4 goals.
Let's see how many SHGs he has. Shots on, or sorry, yeah.
That's SHGs.
Shorthanded goals. My
My
apologies.
Do you do sports?
60 shots. Surprisingly, not leading the Jets, but I wonder what a shot per game is, because he played a few less games. Okay, so in 18 games, he has 60 shots on goal. The leader is Dustin Byfuglien, who's played in every game this season with 84.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, puts the puck on net a lot.
And misses the net a lot.
Oh. Nothing bugs me more than coming down the right wing and missing the net, and the puck rims around the boards, and the other team gets a breakaway.
Wait, hold on. Question. Did it sound nice? Because we here on this very podcast, Greg started it, agree that Evander Kane has the greatest sounding wrist shot in the league because he misses the net so much from stepping in over the blue and letting her rip.
Yeah, sure, it sounds nice.
Sounds very nice.
Does it sounding nice doesn't equal wins?
No, it never will.
Now, obviously...
And 29 penalty minutes, too.
The other thing that doesn't
Tap that down.
Yeah.
I think he tries too hard to hit, too.
Last night he
I get being
he
a power
so
forward,
much.
but taking an extra stride to hit a guy when you just don't need to.
Yeah.
And when he fights, you're not a fighter. Yeah. You're not Floyd. Enough.
You're not Floyd.
Yeah.
No, very, very
good.
true.
No,
I totally agree.
It's just a broken record, and he's just doing the same stupid things over and over again. And if they trade him, and my favorite is when he does score, and there's a few people who are media members, and it's like, oh, that's why we have Evander Kane. Okay. Whatever, because he scored a good goal.
One goal. Yeah. You know who also doesn't score goals? Chris Thorburn doesn't score goals.
But he's not supposed to score goals here.
He's the guy in the dressing room guy, glue guy.
He's a good room guy. Exactly.
Yeah, he takes up half the room with his nose.
So that's not nice.
Thorburn.
I mean,
it's
okay. At least the Jets beat the Oilers. Let's take the positives, guys.
No goals.
Jets beat the Oilers last night.
If they didn't beat the Oilers, I'd have some questions.
Oh, here's another thing. Evander Kane has 2 less penalty minutes than Chris Thorburn.
I think that silence says enough.
In how many less games?
Yeah, enough.
Enough. 6 less games.
That's enough. Yeah.
Wow. Evander Kane's played 6 less games than Chris Thorburn?
Yeah.
Was he injured?
Yeah, remember he hurt his knee after running into Scheifele in Phoenix.
Oh,
yeah.
Scheifele.
Missed the entire month of hockey.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he played 6 less games than Chris Thorburn. He's 2 PIMs less.
Remember when the Jets couldn't score and then everyone's like, oh, don't worry, when Kane's back, we'll be able to score?
No.
I think it might be the system
winning.
that he's in, too, because I remember last year, the last 23 games with Maurice, he only scored twice in the Maurice system.
Is it really the system? Good players should just score goals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's true. It's not like he's not getting the chances, as Tyler alluded to. He's getting the shots. Why? And obviously, that means he has to get chances.
Not taking high percentage shots. That's the problem.
he isn't.
And I mean, I don't have any quantified evidence to back that up.
You know who Kane kind of reminds me of? Tyler.
Because
Tyler likes to come over the blue line, just let a slap shot go,
and then let us chase it down.
Yeah, when it goes in, it's great.
It's very true. It's very true.
But when it doesn't, he doesn't really hustle
back. This is how I know these things. Like, let's just take a look at Evander Kane's KHL stats.
Oh, God, no. He had no points in
2 points in 12 games.
Oh, 12 games, okay. But, okay.
I think he's too concerned. Although I will say, I did some Instagram digging, and did you see this new lady friend?
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I do not.
Have you seen her? Oh, my God. I'm going to pull her up on my phone.
And this is not fact in any way, shape, or form.
You knew her?
No.
Oh.
I wish.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking at it, before the
Ugh.
game started last night, I saw a weird stat on like Jets TV there. Leading into yesterday's game, the Jets had 51 goals. 24 of them were scored by Ladd, Little, and Wheeler. That's 47% of goals just by 3 guys.
Look at that.
That's ridiculous. Who's this?
That's his girlfriend.
But click the lady's name.
Oh, yeah, I'll click her name.
I thought he was getting married.
Clearly not.
He made a big deal out of that last year.
because he proposed to her, or the
night before
the opening night. Like,
yeah, I know.
Like,
I know.
You kidding me? That bugged me.
Yeah, I kind of.
Well, he almost took it away from himself, he took the attention upon himself instead of on the team.
Yeah, which is that a good thing?
No, I wouldn't say so. Anything else to wrap up before we move on from the Jets and move into?
Do you guys think he'll get traded at the end of the year?
We said this at the start of the podcast. I think 100% yes, Evander Kane gets traded.
Yeah, I think so too. Quickly.
How about yourself?
No,
no?
I don't think so.
If he ever were to get traded,
where do you see him?
Are we overvaluing him, such as the Edmonton Oilers right now?
Yeah. 100%. You're going to overvalue him. That's the only way. Well, that's the only way. Jets won't trade him if they're getting something less. But what really is less? I mean, at what point do the scales tip and say he's going to score 50 versus he's played how many years in the league and he really hasn't done a whole lot?
He scored 30.
He scored 30 once.
Yeah,
exactly. 57 points.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, not even a point a game, and we're expecting 50 goals out of him every year.
Yeah, right.
Well, he put that on himself. Obviously, the other thing too, it's gotta bother him because he's a competitor and he wants to win.
Yep.
And wants to score goals, but he's not able to do it.
Stop the partying. Not that I know that he parties, but just score goals.
Party in the off season and stay quiet about it.
Yeah.
And then come to work.
You can make all this noise, referencing the push-ups pictures. You can do that when you score 40 goals a year.
Well,
yeah.
Perennial respect. I'm actually on the Don Cherry note. I'm looking forward to seeing what he says about this because I'm sure he'll have some sort of.
Are you thinking about Don Cherry because I'm doing the hand?
Yeah, I really was actually. Other thing.
People forget when you're doing things well. It's so sad.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
That's
when you're able to.
The world is.
Yeah, it's easy to block out the haters if you're doing the job you're supposed to be doing. Just blocking.
Why are you guys both looking at me like that?
I don't know. I don't know. Bogosian out 4 to 6 weeks with a broken, lower body injury. We don't exactly know.
I know how we're gonna fix this.
Got a shot in the leg.
Thomas Caberlet.
Thomas, oh my God, no. So because of that, we picked up Julien Brouillette from the Ice Caps, as well as Ben Sherratt came up yesterday, but we brought up Brouillette today.
Okay.
And
Toby's out for the rest of December.
Toby's out for rest of December, so Bufflin's moving back to D, and Klitzum's out for at least the next 2 weeks. Okay. So that's what we know in Jetsland. That's just to sum everything up.
A distant Jetsland. Claude Noel, new coach of the Vancouver Giants.
Very true.
So I'm glad that he got picked up. I knew he was going to. On TSN panel.
Definitely one of the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a nice guy. Hopefully he can make it work in Vancouver.
A bit scary to sit in his post-game pressers when they lost. But it wasn't my job to ask questions then, so...
You just stayed quiet.
I just stayed quiet and enjoyed the ride.
What, do you have a...
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of good guys...
Yeah.
Daniel Alfredson announces his retirement after 18 seasons. Thoughts?
Well, signed a one-day contract, worth all the money to retire as a Sen.
Did he really sign a one-day?
It was just signed a one-day. I don't think there's any money involved. But
I think they made him a jersey or something.
Yeah, they let him take...
He should have taken warm-ups.
He did.
He did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh!
That's why I was like, dude... TSN, right now.
Did he sit on the bench?
I don't know, but he took warm-ups.
No, but he took warm-up, though.
Yeah, and they showed it on TSN.
Was he wearing the C?
He was wearing the C.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. It's just him and all of his locks. And just loving
Beautiful.
it. I think he was loving every second.
Really
of it.
unfortunate looking guy. Always had some eczema on his nose and forehead.
Well, hey, wait. Since we're talking about this, favorite Alfredson moment.
Oh, definitely when they shot the puck at Scott Niedermayer.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
Mine is
no.
mimicking Matt Sundin, the stick toss. I loved it. Oh my goodness gracious, that was amazing. When
I
Matt
respect him
Sundin
so
threw it
much.
in the stick, but when he went to go fake toss and then just dropped it, I was like, brava, Daniel Alfredson.
See, I grew up in the age
I don't remember
of...
him shooting a puck at.
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
finals against the Ducks.
Oh, yeah, he shot
Just
one.
ripped a puck right out
Why?
of him with like 2 seconds left. No,
Oh, because the game was over and they won the
yeah,
cup.
and he was being upset. No, I don't think
It was
the
like game 4.
Yeah.
But,
really?
no, I grew up in the age of when the Battle of Ontario was actually heated because both teams made the playoffs every year and didn't kind of suck.
Leafs making the playoffs.
Wow, that kind of scared me. Oh my god. Hey, there was a point where Edmonton
I know
won
we're in the
games.
midst of this podcast, but
You're in a-
are we going to Horrible Bosses too?
Maybe.
Well,
We'll
you have a
discuss it
goatee.
after. We'll discuss it after.
Was the last time you shaved when I was in town, or what?
Oh, fuck you.
Which would have been when, sir?
Well, like 3 years ago, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
October 18th.
You're really good at just...
We
both
were
you
on a good roll,
yeah,
sir.
Fuck you.
I'm just asking.
No,
Maybe.
we're going
Why?
tomorrow.
No,
Maybe
let's go.
Yeah,
tonight.
no,
Okay,
sir,
one
this is
sec-
a podcast.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna eat a piece of pizza.
Let's talk hockey.
Oh, he's
Let's
better
talk
than
hockey.
us.
Okay.
Good. Now that
But no,
shedded the
I grew
weight.
up. I grew up in the days. No,
Hey,
chips.
no,
Shanabad.
We shed a bad candy on this spot. Who are you? You've ruined the last 2 minutes. You apologize.
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Apologize this.
No, I grew up in the age of when, as I'm trying to say this for the third time, of the Toronto Ottawa playing each other every year in the playoffs, and Alfredson had his share moments of hatred towards Leafs. Like, I hated Alfredson for a bit, but I can't hate a good guy of hockey. Really, at the end of the day, he's a good guy. He's an ambassador for the league, and I kind of wish he had won a cup. which
Greg
he was
didn't say
not able to
bastard.
do.
He said ambassador.
Yeah,
but I heard
said-
bastard.
I heard I said
He
ambassador.
moved pretty quickly through that one.
But yeah, no, I'm okay. Yeah, my favorite moment is definitely him shooting the puck because every other moment is him scoring against the Leafs.
Coming down the wing, letting go a nice wrister.
It just didn't seem right either seeing him in
My
a
voice
Detroit Red
picking
Wing.
up over here.
It might be. It doesn't matter.
I don't know
Not
why you're
contributing
sitting
anyways,
there.
sorry.
Bro,
Yeah,
sending
you're-
emails.
Yeah, that's cool.
This guy.
Oh, he's pulled the classic.
Well, since here, let's get Tyler back in this conversation. The Jets did beat the Oilers. That was the Oilers' 11th straight loss. They're 0-7-4 in their last 11 games.
Yes.
Now, their longest losing streak in franchise history is 14 games back to the 93-94 season. Do they set that record this year, Greg?
I don't think they can.
Who's their
I
next
don't-
4 games? You think they're going to win?
Anaheim and San Jose times 2.
Who's that?
Anaheim and San Jose.
Twice. And then what's that 4th game?
I think it's like Anaheim, or it's like Anaheim, San Joe. Oh,
The Tyler Flatchlands.
While talking about that last podcast, you said Edmonton lacked a good Mimco kid. Now
Mimco kid.
Mimico?
The Mimco. It's the Mimco. Not the
Mimico.
Mimico,
What are
the
you talking
Mimco.
You don't know. You don't get it.
You don't. It's fine.
You don't
You're
speak
not-
podcast, I
you
guess.
don't-
like, this is
Cast.
how bad the Oilers are.
Okay.
The first thing that pops up on their website is Player Development Social Network.
We're on an 11-game losing streak.
Jets fly by Oilers. That comes up second.
Actually, one of the best moments
good title,
from
by the
last
way.
night's game, I don't know if anyone saw it, but on Twitter after, Craig McTavish's face after
Yeah.
Winnipeg
It's
scored.
become an internet sensation. It's really too bad. Okay, so the Oilers... Oh, yeah, here you go. Here you go. Here, get ready for this. The Oilers now play the Sharks at home. Then they travel to San Jose. And then they travel to Anaheim. And then Anaheim comes to Edmonton. And then they go to the Rangers.
That's 5.
Or then they host the
That's a
Rangers.
lot.
No,
Next
no,
5.
no.
5 games.
But the thing is what we're overlooking, those 4 games are against teams in their own conference. They're probably not going to win those games.
Apart from the Rangers, they might done.
They might win
and
the Rangers.
And the Rangers only went to the Cup last year.
Yeah,
but they
exactly.
their last win was against the Rangers in
Oh.
Madison Square Garden.
And then they played the Coyotes. Winnable game for sure, even though they got, absolutely
Okay.
slaughtered.
No,
Then they played the
wait.
Sharks.
Again?
3
times?
Then they played the Stars. Then the Coyotes, another winnable
Yay.
game. Then they played the Flames. Meh.
What do you mean the
Oh,
Flames?
whoa.
Hey, they're top 10 in the league, so.
Then they play the Kings. And then they play the Flames again. There is a legitimate possibility that this hockey club does not win a single game in December. Like, I know anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
But there is a legitimate shot.
If you look at stats alone, they don't win a single game for the rest of the month.
And here's why I'm going to say they might not be able to beat Arizona. Who's Arizona's goalie right now?
Not Mike Smith, if you're asking.
Jason LaBarbera? Is that who it is?
Devin Dubnyk.
Oh.
And he is
an old friend.
He's playing ridiculous. And if I know anything, your past teams, when you play them, you just burn them. That's
they already burnt him once.
Like, remember Dubnyk had a little stint there with Montreal? It was was probably like the 30th goalie on the depth chart when he went there. Yeah, he went there at the end of last year.
Oh.
The Duber.
Oh, just to bring back Taylor Hall, he moved in 2005. Him and his family moved to Kingston, Ontario. So technically, he played in the Mimco for a done little bit.
Okay.
So he was technically a good Mimco kid on that team. But that's a bit of a stretch. That's gotta suck, speaking of Taylor Hall, though, about how he was such a winner in junior. He won OHL championship, back-to-back, MVP of back-to-back Memorial Cups, and he won both of them. We knew nothing but winning. And then he's his fifth NHL year, fourth?
Something like that.
And fourth NHL season.
It's not even that, though. It's the fact that they're just not competitive at all.
Begins with the front office.
It does. Question. No, it does. It 100% does.
Because you look at the drafting.
It's not Dallas Aikens.
No.
I'm sorry. Taking Leon Draisaitl this year?
Mistake.
Total mistake.
Who would you have taken?
Anyone else.
No, they needed a big center. They needed to get away.
A big center.
He looked like
Look at your centers. They're not very big.
No, but Cam, he would look like a boy last night in a men's league. That's what he looked like.
Okay, Draisaitl's 6'1". That's not big.
But he was 200 pounds, isn't he?
210.
I don't care about what your weight is.
Pretty hefty.
But like 6'1", he looked like a boy in a men's league.
It's just, it's really difficult to process because you look at all their big draft picks. They are the same player. Taylor Hall, the correct pick. Hindsight's 2020. Taylor Hall was the correct pick.
Yeah, because he was
Jordan Eberle was a year or so before.
And round 2, so that's a wash.
Yeah,
you're gonna take that one anyways.
Great pick. Good find.
Nuge. Would you have taken Ryan Murray?
Well,
no, Landeskog.
Could have taken Landeskog.
Yeah.
But they already took their big
No,
left
and
winger.
Ryan Murray was Yak.
But the reason why they took
Nuge was because he needed a center.
But you need to stop taking the same type of hockey player. The point I'm making is all these guys that they've drafted are all skilled offensive players.
Yeah, they don't have
You can't have 6 of those guys. Nail Yakupov. I know he was the talk of the town when he was getting drafted, and why would you not take Yak? And you have to take the best player available. But as the great Herb Brooks once said, if you've ever seen the movie Miracle, I'm not looking for the best players, I'm looking for the right ones.
Yeah.
Again.
And what?
Again, you
don't again. Yeah.
Like with the whistle. But yeah, that's true. He's not looking for the best. He's looking for the right players.
And I think they've just gone by the mentality of looking for the best players.
They're gonna have the best team with the best players, which is obviously not the case.
It's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It sucks for the fan base there. It really does. But blow it up. Blow it the fuck up.
Their starting lineup last night. I'm sorry. Steve Pinizzotto, Mark Arcobello, and Luke Gazdic. That was their starting lineup.
Who was on D?
It was Ferentz and Schultz.
Okay. What happened to Schultz? Didn't he get hit really bad once?
Yeah. Although Taylor Hall did blow up Mark Stewart pretty good.
Taylor Hall's a good.
That's the guy you keep. Everyone else,
you build around Taylor Hall.
Nuge. He could be a second.
Oh, I think you trade Ebbs. As good as he is.
Ebbs,
Yak. Ebbs
and Yak, and you're stuck with Draisaitl. You're stuck with him now.
Oh,
you don't. It's not stuck.
I don't think you're stuck with Leon Draisaitl.
Okay, sorry, you're not stuck with him.
That's a good problem to be stuck with, at least.
Yeah, you hope that he develops in the player. I would have preferred, obviously, hindsight 2020, is if he went for another year in junior. Just because
I'm going to look at the draft classes here.
This year is just ridiculous. It's a deep draft, and that's one of the things. And there is some D out there.
Okay,
Cam has it here. Cam D. Oh no, that's last year. Never mind.
What kind of penmanship is that?
That's it's my beautiful penmanship.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, Draisaitl. Players taken after Draisaitl. Sam Bennett.
Yeah, okay.
Two-way
center.
Haven't seen him
Small
yet.
guy though.
Michael Delcole. Speedster. Jake Burton. Shooter. Hayden Fleury.
Could have.
kind of high. Willie Nylander, Nikolai Ehlers, Nick Ritchie, Kevin Fiala playing in the NHL.
For who?
Nashville.
Oh.
But
Brendan
what kind
Perlini.
of role? That's the other
But like,
thing,
here's
too.
the other thing
He's
too.
playing
though,
on
is
Nashville. They're
they've
not very
never
deep,
had
so I
a.
guess that'd be
Their scouting system is terrible. If you look at most teams, they have a flyer pick that has made their team, or they've made a trade somewhere along the line where they've had a guy that they didn't expect to be there, showing up every night and playing hard. And they just don't have it. It's first line guys and guys you never heard of. There was a stat last night on Sportsnet that they've made something like 44 picks in the last 5 years, and 10 of those guys are in the NHL.
Like, here you go.
They have 500 games played. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
They have like 500 games played between those first round picks that they have. All the other picks, they have 10 or something like that. Like, it's ridiculous, the drop off.
Okay, you're not
Obviously, stats aren't
guys aren't gonna. You're not gonna draft somebody who's projected 20th in the first top 5.
Of course.
So
Unless you're the Jets.
saying that the Edmonton Oilers in 2012 should have taken Jacob Trouba over Nail Yakupov is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Okay, so of your top,
Even
well,
I would
even
top 8.
top.
Go
Okay,
8.
let's go with top 8.
Yeah.
Instead of taking Nail Yakupov, your real need was either Ryan Murray or Hampus Lindholm. Morgan Riley does nothing for me because he's a little offensive defenseman.
And
So
at that point,
yeah.
wasn't that the summer they locked up? They got Schultz. that
Yeah, they
summer.
got Schultz.
so
Okay,
so Hampus Lindholm right there. He had 30 points last year.
Two-way defenseman. A strong two-way defenseman.
You know what? I
And
would say the
he's-
safe bet would have been Ryan Murray.
It would, yeah, obviously.
Either way, D. Okay,
Wait,
then the next
Can we
following
just
year.
mention that Anaheim's silently building a great
Ryan Murray.
back end? Like,
Yeah, Cam
Fowler,
Oh, Fowler, that was such a steal.
Lindholm.
Oh my gosh.
Fowler,
I was here
Lindholm.
with-
They have
That was the year of
Vatanen.
Dylan McElrath.
Vatanen's playing unreal this year.
Sammy Vatanen, yeah.
Oh.
Sammy Vatanen, Hampus Lindholm, both represented their... No, did Lindholm, because I know Vatanen represented Team Finland at the Olympics, did Hampus Lindholm.
Maybe, I
That's
don't know.
crazy, though. Vatanen as a rookie represented his country.
I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Those guys are all young. They have 3 young guys.
Smith,
that are
Pelly, all their guys.
developing.
Bonino.
Oh,
Like
well,
all these guys. Well, look at...
Bonino's not there, but yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying like even their draft picks are developing.
And it's just, it needs to be, and it's front office. Get better scouts. Get guys that are going to find steals later on.
2011. Gabriel
Yeah.
Landeskog is your uncontested, I believe, should have been #1 pick.
But
Leadership. He's the
Okay.
captain of the Colorado
But
Avalanche.
because they
Here's
drafted
Hall the year
their
before.
left wing.
they drafted their left wing in Hall.
And they tested
Ken-
Hall briefly
At center.
his rookie year at center, and they did not like what they saw.
Okay.
So
But
who
yes,
else is available in that draft?
Clear cut. Gabriel Landeskog. I thought it was a runaway.
Yeah.
I thought it was he
so
was
did I.
big leader, like he did everything. Who else was taken in the top 8 even? Just 8.
We had Landeskog was at 2. Huberdeau was at 3. Adam Larson, who's been a pretty much bust.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
Ryan Strome, Mika Zibanejad, Mark Scheifele.
Okay, so-
Oh, this is Couturier.
Dougie Hamilton, Jonas Brodin,
See, Couturier slipped, so that's why I wouldn't have said
Duncan
Couturier.
Siemens, Ryan Murphy,
Weird,
Sven
but-
Baertschi.
Nah, that's good.
Could they have like gotten away with getting Huberto? Because I'm pretty sure Huberto would have helped. Like, I think Huberto
No, he
and
was
Hall would-
LS same mold though. Same thing like that, offensive, smaller. If
But
you're
it
taking
doesn't-
Huberto, take Nuge. That was the right pick. In that
Really?
aspect, between Nuge and Huberto,
Oh,
yeah.
I guess
No,
so.
just 100%.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I just want to say, in terms of like,
But he's
if you're
injury
drafting
prone,
different
unfortunately.
players, and the reason Coots slipped and went on, he had 2 back-to-back 96-point seasons, and he had Palat on his line. We talked about that. Weird fact: the 3 nights ago, the Flyers played the Sharks in San Jose. Sean Couturier got his first career power play point. First career. What's that? Oh yeah, first career power play point, assisted by Scott Law in his first career NHL point. But Couturier, first career power play point 4 years in.
That's pretty crazy.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but he's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
He's a defensive guy.
Yeah, they developed
he
him
is.
into a third line center.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's more. I don't think.
Point is,
Either
back
way.
to the original.
Yeah.
They're looking for the wrong guys.
Yeah, they need to do
really-
something.
And that is head office.
And at
Management.
what point is it, okay, we're building through the draft. I understand that's the way to build in the new NHL. But you have to start to bring in some veteran talent. Matt Hendricks.
Off.
At what point do you have to, at what point is it you want to bring in good team guys versus guys who can actually play.
See, I thought that one of the best moves they did was bring in Andrew Ferentz. You need more of guys like that who buy into the system and will show these guys how to be professionals.
Boyd Gordon's contract is ridiculous.
They should have tried to gone after Frolik when last time Chicago won. And the problem with Edmonton, and I found this out because I tried to fix all their problems on NHL 15, they are too close to the cap. They are one of the highest spending teams in the NHL.
Similar to the Jets, they overvalue their core players. Why would you give Ryan Nugent-Hopkins 6 years, $6 million? What did he show to earn that? What did he show to earn $6 million?
Injuries.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. He didn't show he earned $6 million.
No, you're right. 100% right.
And just speaking of like good contracts, like this past week, Brendan Gallagher, the Montreal Canadiens signed Brendan Gallagher 6 years, $22.5 million. That's $3.75 million a year for the next 6 years. That's a great contract. For what he brings to the table, excellent contract.
Second line player that's going to give you less than $4 million a year, great. Especially with the cap probably going up in the next 6 years at some point.
Yeah, and
on top of that, Alec
Martinez
getting signed by the LA Kings 6 years for $4 million per year on average. That's the guy that scored you your Stanley Cup winning goal and your conference clinching goal all in the same year. First player to ever do that. And this is what great teams do is they sign the right contracts.
Mm-hmm. Leon Draisaitl, 19 years old. Mm-hmm. Taylor Hall, 23.
Oh, they're young.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 21. Tyler Pitlick, 23. Nail Yakupov, 21.
Is that their lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their current roster.
We are that age.
Too small. Too young.
Gosh.
Yeah,
you had 6 of me.
I got overwhelmed last night making dinner. Okay?
It was 6 of me on the ice. It would be just horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need someone that's core
maturity is definitely part of this. Experience. Boyd Gordon, he played for a few years with the Ovechkin.
But he's never been as talented as those kids, so he can't really. He can teach them the fundamentals, but he can't really teach them anything in game because he's never been at that level.
I thought Jaromir Jagr would have been a perfect fit from that team.
Ooh, Jagr would have been good.
Ooh, that'd be a goodie.
But when you're at Jagr's age, you just want to win cups. Although I'm not quite sure.
New Jersey's
I'm just not quite sure why he went to New Jersey or Dallas.
Yeah.
But looks like he is going to keep it going here.
Now, next quick thing, as we talk of fossils signing in places, Martin Brodeur signs a 1-year, $700K contract to play with the Blues. Talked about last week how he was getting tryout with the Blues. Now he's officially signed. He starts tonight against Nashville, which officially, the other stipulation on his contract, $10K for every point he earns the St. Louis Blues.
Tonight.
He starts
for every
tonight.
Point he gets, $10,000 bonus.
So if they win, he gets $20,000. Overtime loss, $10,000 still.
And just here's a really fun fact that I read, written by Steve Dangle on Sportsnet.com.
I do believe he lost that game.
Brodeur, by signing this contract, loses out on a record that he was far and away the leader in if he would have just finished his contract. Before tonight's game, Martin Brodeur had the most wins with one single franchise. That was 688 wins with the New Jersey Devils. Sure, he very well may be the first or one of the first goaltenders, I believe, to hit 700 wins. I don't think of any other one.
Yeah, he's leading all.
The next leader in this category, now that Brodeur has played that game, Henrik Lundqvist with 318. Behind Lundqvist, Turk Broda, 302 wins. Who's Turk Broda? Toronto Maple Leafs. Last time he played was 1952.
Other
Blues
person
lost, by the way, was 4-3.
In overtime or anything?
No.
No, 10K bonus.
Dang
it.
Here's the other thing.
Darn, he's going to have to work.
Yeah, too bad. Darn. Marc-Andre Fleury also approaching on that list as well.
300 wins.
He's 300 with the same franchise.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't think Marc-Andre Fleury realistically is going to play another 388 games with Penguins.
Win another 388 games.
Win another three, not play. Win another 388.
No, very, very true.
388. Because Brodeur had 688 before.
But it's a nulled contract now.
Right, it's nulled.
It's nulled.
So now, it's Lundqvist.
It's now Lundqvist that holds the
Fleury.
record. Yeah, and
Fleury's a 3-0 whatever.
300 and probably 3 now. Or whatever.
Just speaking of the Penguins, 2005 draft. Can you guys tell me who was first overall draft pick?
That was Crosby.
Oh, and who was the last pick in that draft pick?
In that draft?
Dead last, 230th. Can you tell?
Valtteri Filppula.
Good guess. I'll give you one more guess. He plays on Crosby's line.
Oh, Hornqvist, right.
Patrick
Are you
Hornqvist.
serious?
First and last are on the same line right now. Isn't that weird?
Yes, I do remember this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, the Ducks, apparently, after John Gibson's injury, they're not happy with their other backup. I believe it's LeBarb.
Anderson.
No, they have Anderson, but they also have LeBarbara, I believe. They're not happy with him. So, who do they decide to sign to a PTO?
This is new
Any
to me.
guesses? Any
Can
guesses?
I have a hint?
I know.
I don't know. This is brand new. When did this happen? Today?
Today.
Brand new to me. I have no idea. Can I have a hint?
He started his career as an Anaheim Duck.
Can I have one more guess? Because that's pretty...
Why you have to be mad?
Universe! No way! Ilya Brizgalov? Shut up! What?
Yeah, PTO with Ducks.
Universe! Universe!
Yeah,
right!
Yeah.
He's on a PTO?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dude, they've been busy this past week because they had a trade earlier.
Yeah.
They traded the third round this year to the Bolts for Eric Brewer, but Eric Brewer's out 4 to 6... Eric Brewer's out 4 to 6 weeks. And then the Ducks traded Jesse Blacker and a conditional pick to Florida for Colby Rollback just to fill in. They needed
Jesse Blacker,
there.
former Leafs.
Yeah, well, he's been... I still
Other
think
thing.
Western.
Who right now is leading NHL All-Star voting?
Zemgus Jurgensen.
Yup.
And you know, we're going to keep that train rolling, folks. We're
Keep
keeping that
voting Zemgus Jurgensen. And on that
He
point,
is the best player on that team.
I didn't notice tonight if Buffalo played, but going into tonight's games, Buffalo was 6-4 and on a 3-game win streak. 2 of those wins against Montreal in a row.
Okay,
In a row.
Well, now that we're on Buffalo, I think it's time for Connor McDavid watch for 15. Yeah. Greg, let me have it.
Well, McDavid was named to Team Canada.
Duh.
Bottom 5 teams is today.
Okay.
We start with 26th, which is Philly.
Beautiful.
27th, which is now Buffalo.
Okay.
28th, Carolina. 29th, Edmonton. 30th, taking the new reins, Columbus.
Blue Jackets!
Could you imagine him on Columbus?
No, they'd take Jack Eichel. No, they wouldn't. Nah, would they? Nah, they wouldn't. They'd take Connor McDavid. They'd have to.
You have to.
That's a
but-
beautiful 1-2 punch in McDavid and Johansson.
For sure.
Johansson.
Although, is there a defenseman in that mix?
What?
Is there a defenseman in
The draft? No,
Yeah.
Hannafin, of course. Boston College.
Hannafin? Is he third?
He's ranked third behind
Okay.
Jack and Connor.
Gotcha.
Yes. And since we're on Columbus, obviously we have to talk about injuries. Are there any major injuries in the NHL?
I don't know.
Apart from the greatest injury that ever happened. Corey Crawford's out 2 to 3
yeah,
weeks.
Jesus.
Lower body injury. Suffered an injury, allegedly leaving the Rise Against concert, which is so awesome.
I hate to.
Oh, Buffalo lost 5-0 against
I-
Tampa tonight.
And I really
So-
hate to bring up Evander Kane again, but he posted.
Oh, I
another
saw it,
Instagram
yeah.
Picture of just a muscly back. TBT hashtag was TBT, and the line was literally.
Oh, cool.
So maybe it was last Thursday, where he was doing back
Or
exercises.
literally it's his back. Yeah, okay. Oh!
Oh, it's his back, literally.
Back Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, another.
You done missed
Zinger.
that? Oh, Tyler just rolled his eyes again. Oh,
Back looks really lumpy. Who wants muscly backs?
I like my fat.
I'd rather just look like a
hey,
bag
I
of
like
milk.
when I lie down and like my back conforms to the shape of
Yeah.
whatever I'm lying on.
You know what I've gotten really good because I've been staying in a lot of hotels lately with work.
Yeah.
Oh,
look
la-di-do.
at that. Hey, how's your continental breakfast?
And like these tubs that are in like you can lie down and it's like the back is angled.
Yeah.
And like if you take, it's really embarrassing. You take your back and you like lie really quickly on them and you pull up. There's like a suction effect and like you do back
It
parts.
sucks your back fat. No. Tyler tried doing his own like remedy where he heats up those cups and puts them on their back, but he ends up just burning his back. Ow! That hurts. It hurts.
Okay.
Any milestones that hit this week?
No, I was just going to say somebody else is out with an interesting illness.
Who's this?
Ryan Suter is out with the mumps.
No!
Yeah.
The mumps strike again. It's coming.
And Yager and Ilyas are out in New Jersey. It's okay because they got Scott Gomez this week.
Are they just at the senior home right now, or is that?
Well, they had to break Scott Gomez out of the senior home so he could sign the papers to play for New Jersey.
And then they just
in the
got-
process they got shin splints or something. It's just
And that's how it happens.
stop
Well,
that.
Crosby got 800 points this past week, and he's the 6th fastest to do so. I'm not sure who the first 5 are. Probably Gretzky and Lemieux and others. And, of course, Of course, Martin St. Louis hit 1,000 points against my beloved Flyers on Thanksgiving. So no thanks to you for giving us a loss again. What are you laughing at, Greg?
So I just went on Facebook and friends from high school, we're putting together another Christmas party for this year, as we do every year.
Oh my God, a pregnant girl that we used to hang out with.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's wrap her up if this is where it's going.
I'm not sure which one's pregnant in this picture.
Okay,
so it's
sir.
Christmas party for the people I'm going to high school with. Oh yeah, no, she was. She had a kid.
Oh, gross.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Stay on task. We're wrapping up.
So like one of my friends made a Google Doc, and one of my friends put his name down and his food item, my other friend, and then my other friend put as sex-related items a large dildo.
Why is this on the podcast?
Oh my God,
Sir. Okay. From all of us here at Last Man In on our 20th episode, from Greg losing his mind to Tyler
Well, it's funny because
barely enjoying himself. Tyler's going to listen to his own voice on this podcast because he loves listening to himself. I know it. We all know it.
He had his own radio show.
I used to have a radio show, by the way.
In a warm bath. He's going to enjoy this.
Suction cup my back.
Suction cup his own back. Till next time, my name's Cam.
Can we have Dan back?
We could, very well could. Tyler, thank you for stopping by.
You're welcome, and Dan needs to return to the podcast because I was just a guest, and I want to apologize for Dan. If I caused any ripples and ruffles of the feathers, Dan, you're much needed on this podcast because I don't fit.
Oh,
podcast.
Whoa, he's better than us.
Not good enough.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I would just like to say, just closing, Brett tweeted us a bunch of stuff this week. He tweeted us the caning. Caning picture, and he tweeted us an interview. I'll retweet it from our podcast account of a gentleman who was he did the meow, like the Super Troopers meow.
The meow.
He did the meow.
Other thing I have to point out is we will work on getting another guest at some point in December. I'm working on somebody right now on bringing them in, so maybe Tyler won't be our first and last guest appearance.
I look forward to making reappearing on the podcast in a few weeks.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have them for our New Year. We should do a New Year's Eve after the Canada-US game reactions podcast. Doesn't matter when it is. We should just do it for fun and just do it.
Well, you heard it here.
After that.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening in.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.